Hello, my Periscope family. How are you? I'm Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper, coming to you once again. I appreciate you for joining me on this video. Thank you so much. Those of you that are coming on, we're going to deal with a subject matter. So I'm going to wait to the rest of you come on. Just come on in. Come on in. We're going to deal with something that many of you have dealt with. Anybody that has been discarded or have escaped to freedom have dealt with this. So just come on in. We're going to wait a little bit for the others to come. Come on in. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate that. Hello there. How are you, Christine? So glad to have you aboard. Thank you for joining me. I'm excited about you being here. We're waiting for others to come. How are you? Hello there. What is this? Makeup with Linnell. Hello there. How are you? Thank you for joining me. I'm excited as always to come before you. Makeup, you need to uh, email me if you have makeup, because I love makeup. Email me destinyhelper12s@gmail.com and let's see what you have. She said, I'm good, thanks, hanging in there. Good job. You know, we're going to talk about something that is tremendous tonight. Those of you who are emailing me, thank you so much for your email. Hello, Wanda. How are you? Oh, God bless you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you joined the program. Hello, Jonathan. How are you? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Just come on in, invite your followers so they can join us. We have something that we want to talk about, and most of this is something that we dealt with in one phase of a narcissistic relationship or another. If you've been with a narcissist over 3 months, because sometimes they can actually go without 3 months without a discard, but once you get over that 3 to 6 months, you're probably going to experience a discard, because now your humanity is coming in, your failures and that your shortcomings are coming in, because when they first love bomb you, you are perfect. Nothing is wrong with you. You make them feel like they're perfect. So they mirror your life. They honor you. They fight for you. They won't let anyone talk about you or discard you. You are held in high regards until your humanity come through. And once that humanity come through, it does something to the narcissist. The narcissist feel like you've been tainted, and they actually get upset and start the process of devaluation. There you go. Thank you. So invite your followers. We have something we're going to talk about that's very imperative. And many of us have went through discard. Many of us have went through escape. Some people don't wait for a discard. When they see what they're dealing with, they can't handle their pressure. They're out of there. And they get there. They leave before they ever get into the real core of the relationship, because trauma bonding can be quite painful to get you to bond through the trauma. Hello there, Jesus girl Betty. How are you? She said, God erased my mark. She said, how are you doing? I am doing great. How are you? She said, great information all the time. I can't wait. Oh, I'm excited. When we come together as a team, it's amazing what comes out of us when we mix our experiences together. So let's talk about how many of you have actually, hello there, Sheila. How are you? How many of you have ever been discarded? If you've been discarded, say me. If you've been discarded. And then I have another question for you, because there's a difference between, she said, I am well good. There's a difference between discard. That's Sheila. Sheila said, I've been discarded. Wanda said, I have. Who else have been discarded? Who else have experienced a discard? And Queen of Swords said, me. Woo, Queen of Swords. Boy, that's a name and a half. C. Thomas said, me. Okay. And who else have been discarded? Who else has been discarded? Because we want to talk about that. Because discard, hello there, global music. She said, me, but from a narc, from their target. Oh, okay. Because Every relationship, after it gets to a certain time in the relationship, you will experience a discard, because the narcissists get bored very, very, very easily. Yes, make up with Lionel and me. Okay. All right. And so when you get discarded, that means the narcissist cut you off, but it's not always permanent. Sometimes it's temporary. She said, yes, I am well as well. I'm doing great. She said, never been discarded. I discard not even knowing what it was. And she said, that's why I said, erase my mark. God told me to stop talking to him. Oh, okay. Okay, so you discarded him. He didn't discard you. She said, I was discarded badly. He popped back up as if he didn't just ghost me after 44 years. That's the way they do. They come back like nothing has ever happened. Hello, Sharon. Sharon said me. And Christine said 4 years into the relationship. Okay. She said very painful on Christmas Eve. Yep. That's what happened. I mean, at the most inopportune time, because you got to remember the narcissist is not concerned about you. They're concerned about them. So they can discard you anytime. Hello, Karma. How are you? She said, I caught you live. Yes, ma'am. I'm here in the flesh. So, and we're talking about discard, trauma bonded through discard and freedom. And what you do is, some of you, just like the young lady said, she left him. So we call that escape. So you didn't get a discard, you got escape. She said discard is a long duration. Sometime it is, but there's been some of them that are married to the target, and what they do is discard them over a weekend. They get angry at them and punish them, and they go out and triangulate and come back. And this is Jesus. Betty said, she said, yes, I never knew what it was. God help me. Yeah. She said the past 3 days I've been triggered. So I've been having all of these memories that I repressed coming out, and the anger is real. This is Christine. It is real. Why? Because you think about everything that was done to you and all the time you spent with them, your life that you invest, and you cannot believe that they actually took you through all this trauma, and they took you through that and never even loved you. Not once. Not once. So it was never love. She said, yes, after he calls me to lose my career of 15 years, then he walked out. She said, and I had nothing and kept coming back to see the harm he had caused. She's a 2-year relationship, and then 6 months after that, we moved in together, and I moved from one state to another to be with him, and then discarded. Oh my God. Yep, that's the case. She said, I have to teach myself it's not love, because they're good love bombers. They're professional love bombers. And love bombing taps into all your systems, because, and you notice it taps so deep into your system until you actually have a glow on your face from a narcissist. And they are wretched sometime in their behavior, and they can be quite feelingless in the relationship, and they are able to portray like they really care when what they're doing is getting information to use at a later time. And so trauma bonding is they traumatize you, and then they bring you to bond with them. So they traumatize you and love you, then they traumatize you and love you, and they confuse your emotional system, they confuse your mind until you don't know what it is. But because of what you feel, you're not willing to labor it anything but love, and it's everything but love. She said, I honestly thought I was okay and in a stable place until that anger and memories came back. She says, like I repressed them so that I don't have to have another mental break. Oh my God. Cognitive dissonance is something real. It's when you know the truth, but you won't deal with it. And see, a lot of times we break because we think we're weaker than what we really are. And you're actually stronger than the narcissist, because love always outweighs. And what happened, they trauma bond us. Like I said, they traumatize you, and then they bond you to the trauma, and they traumatize you, and they bond you with the trauma. And if you notice that some of the best love making some of the best gifts, some of the best recovery that you have is after deep, deep trauma. And you can't believe that he don't love you because the way he does or the way she does after the trauma. But this is bonding you. It's training your mind. Whatever you do on a consistent basis, it marks your mind. It put an indentation or an imprint in your mind that this is the way of living. And what happens is if you continue that, you build a habit and your brain, your soul, your emotions, your will soon accept this as a part of life. It doesn't matter how horrific it is. You can have an adjustment phase in your life for something as terrible as what the narcissist does to you. And Christina, Karma say, but they are the cause of trauma. It's not like we both are going through trauma. But see, that's why it says trauma bonding. Trauma bonding is the trauma they cause and you bond to the trauma. She said, I recently got out of a long-term relationship with a narcissist and started dating someone new, but something, okay, let's get this back around. Okay, let's get that back around. There we go. All righty. Let me see what that says. She said, but they caused the trauma. Absolutely. She said, I recently started dating someone new, but something tells me he may be a narcissist too. Could I let this happen again? Because you never demagnetize. I'm gonna deal with a teacher on demagnetizing. You have to demagnetize from the narcissist because you have that frequency. And if you have the frequency, what happens is you're going to be drawn to whatever that frequency is. It's like a beacon. If you are following a beacon and that beacon is leading you to a target, wherever that beacon is, you're going to flow with that beacon. And right now, you have not demagnetized from a narcissist. So 9 times out of 10, every relationship you get is going to be a narcissist because a regular guy is not going to follow that beacon, but a narcissist will be able to pick it up. We give off energy and energy can go into sound waves, and these sound waves can penetrate minds, it can penetrate hearts, it can penetrate in the atmosphere, and they can pick it up like an empath can walk into a room and pick it up, that frequency. People can pick up frequency. Your nonverbal communication is talking all the time. You may be silent, but your nonverbal communication is not. It's very, very, very loud. She said he came back around and confusion for another year while he was with someone else. She said, and I got discarded because I confronted him. Narcissist, baby. He's a narcissist. A narcissist, the reason there's problem, because that's a personality disorder. A personality is the individual. It's them personally. And them personally mean it's the core essence of who they are. So it doesn't matter how they seem, how they appear. The core essence of who they are is what you're going to eventually deal with. And see, they triangulate. They feel they have a right to get any person they want to. And then the thing is most narcissists does not use protection sexually because they dismiss themselves from diseases. They think they're not going to get the disease. You'll get the disease, but they don't. And so they have unprotected sex and they feel that it's okay. So if they get a disease, they'll bring that to you and then they'll tell you you gave them the disease and you're the one faithful and they're the one triangulating. And so when you confront a narcissist cannot be corrected, cannot be reproved because a narcissist have a sense of entitlement. She said, yes, Christine, exactly. Yeah. And so a narcissist have a sense of entitlement and they feel that you are subordinate to them. So when they cheat, they feel like you should be privileged if they come back. That's what makes you so angry. And that's why you say you were stirring up anger. You kept getting triggered because a narcissist has a personality disorder, and this order goes into entitlement. She said, what if your soulmate is a narcissist? She said, mine went supernova twice in she said mine went supernova twice. The narcissist went supernova, Tiffany? Tiffany, answer me on that. She said, yes, Christine, exactly. Hello, Cynthia, how are you? She said, absolutely. She said, he moved to another state 2 months ago, and we always speak about me visiting him. Last week, we were on the phone, and I was about to buy a ticket, risking my health during COVID and all. You cannot do that, baby. You cannot. Let me tell you something. See, first of all, you're gonna mess up because you should be no contact. Once the narcissist leave, if you don't have children, you shouldn't rebuild a relationship. All you're gonna do is go through the same cycle. See, you're not letting yourself heal, and that's what I was talking about. Demagnetization. You got to let yourself heal, but you won't let yourself heal. And the narcissist, you are supply, so the narcissist wants you to come back. He wants you to come back because he needs supply. He needs fuel. And everything he didn't do the first time, he's not going to do the second time. And everything he wasn't the first time, he's not going to be this time. A narcissist is a narcissist. You're getting ready to go through worse, and you're going to go through the same thing. Never go back to a narcissist because you're going to get punished for coming back. And if you took him through trials, if you took him through trauma, you cause a narcissistic injury, you're going to have to pay for that. A narcissist hold grudges. They don't forgive because of their nature. There's no forgiveness. And when he wants you back, there's a reason he wants you. That financially is something you're giving them. It's not for love. Baby, when you get on that plane, you're not getting on that plane for love. Know that it's not for love. So if you go, you know that you're going for supply only. But it's not for love. Never for love. Narcissists don't love you. They use you. And that's what they're used to doing. They don't love themselves. They got holes in themselves. They feel lonely. They feel empty. That's why they're going from supply to supply to supply to try to fill holes. But the hole has no bottom. So no matter what you put in the narcissist, it goes straight through. And Amanda said, what do you think about a mother that gives you the silent treatment for 25 years because you became disabled and can only work once in a while? She lives through my life and sees me as a possession. Absolutely. She's a narcissist. That's what they do. See, that's what I was explaining. That's what they do. That's their mindset. And that won't change. That won't change. As long as she lived, that won't change. And she probably will go to her grave like that. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Sad creatures, absolutely. And what I think people don't realize is what a narcissist is. We treat them like regular people. The reason they was diagnosed with that is because they're not regular people. Doctors who specialize with narcissists know that whatever relationship they're in is going to be a traumatic relationship. It's going to be horrific. It's going to be devastating because these individuals are wired different. They're wired for pain. And the more pain you're in, the better they feel about themselves. So the narcissist will create pain. If you don't want pain, then you have to think about your contact zone. She said, do narcissists try to take up all of your time? All the time. All the time. They don't even want you to serve God. They want that time too. She said, Narc family turns on me ever so often until they want to love bomb me. She said, and I didn't realize I model relationship with others after I blame myself and didn't realize I was raised that way. Okay, you came out of narcissistic relationship, so you was fine-tuned for it. She said he uses our daughter to keep me in his life, even though she is in her 20s. He keep me around. She said, keep me around really realized for money, but I know now it's just supply. Yep, absolutely. She says crazy how they think and how they can trample on people who try to help them. You can help them if you want to, but it doesn't mean nothing because they'll be back and think that you owe them, not want to help them. And Jonathan says they drain you, take energy and resources, plus they pick your brain. She said that gaslighting is the worst, from small petty stuff to manipulation of time. Absolutely. She said he would take up time, call all day long. Very, very draining. And see, they're not calling because they love you. They're calling because you need to be trained. A narcissist that experience, I got something called transcription unto translation. Go get that video, because what they're doing is marking your brain, putting an imprint on your brain. And when they're transcribing your brain and you're duplicating the same things. So you're coming out in a pattern. That's why you get lost with time. You get lost with skill. You soon lose yourself. You lose your motivation. You lose your aspiration. You lose everything about yourself, your goals. And you are fighting to do the energy to succeed like you were before. And it just take up all your time. If you're a Christian, you meet them, you love God, you were in church, they first started with church, now they done took the place of God, and you find out you got to struggle in your relationship with God, or you got to struggle in your relationship. Those of you who serve a higher power, which for me, Jesus Christ is the highest power, but you serve in whatever form of religion you have, they begin to substitute that, because the narcissist has to be the ultimate. And the narcissists feel like if you're not devoted to me, they fire you, they release you. That's the discard. Discard is a firing of the individual. I fire you. Don't come back to work for me. Don't join me. Let me call you. Don't call me, I'll call you. And when they come back, like the young lady was saying, they come back as if they did nothing. They come back where they left off, because the mirror of them with you is the last place they were with you. But you notice when they come back, there's something different about them, because they have brought all the people they've been with, they brought that back to you. And the person they've been with without you, they brought you to them. So they're bringing mirrors. So the narcissist is comprised of all the people that is around them. They mirror their life because they're so void and empty. They feel like they don't have a life. So they're scratching for survival. They're scratching to belong. And that's why they use control. Control empowers them. They manipulate, they gaslight, they devaluate, they substitute, they lie, they word salad, they triangulate. And some of them are very, very vicious, because the school is the type narcissist, and each school has grades, each school has description, and each description let you know what that narcissist is capable of, and letting you know what he's going to pull out to feed, because every school, every grade, every class is going to require different things. They are not all the same. And Thomas say, yes, Christina, I could call him and he'll say, I'll call you back, and sometimes never. Ladies, multiple personalities. Absolutely. She said they come back with a legion of demons. Yep, because they've been with everybody. All narcissists operate off playbook. We have to learn their pattern and render them powerless. Yeah, what you have to do is demagnetize them so you'll stop drawing them. She said, oh my God, that is my marriage. Toxic. Absolutely, because they don't marry for love. They don't marry for covenant. They marry for convenience. To get you, if they have to marry you, they will. Christina said, Thomas mine did as well. She said, then if I call him the same, he would say, why are you calling me more than once, in an angry tone? And I was confused because he started that pattern. Gaslighting, absolutely. C. Thomas said, we can't do anything, have to fight and find myself again. And you will. And God's glam goes global for Nakia says, why, Dr. Saller, does God allow this when you do right things and live right? God doesn't allow this. God give us choices. We make choices. We just didn't know the choices we was making. God would never, if you a mom, would you do that to your child? If you won't do that to your child, God doesn't do that to us. And really what happened, we make decisions. We didn't know what we was doing. They love bomb us. We thought we had a good catch because at first they looked so good. They looked like they got all of the right qualities. They look like they got everything we need. And we don't know that, basically that we're in trouble with them. We don't know that. And then when we get with them, the masks fall off and all hell break loose, but we're already in it. So it's not that God allows this. It's that we didn't know the warnings that was given us. So we went through it. And once you get in it, now you got to go through it because we had no idea what it was we was getting into. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Absolutely, Kimberly. She said it's worse than having power in the church. Use the Bible to manipulate. Spiritual narcissists are the worst ones. She said, great to be with you. God bless you. Oh, Norway. God bless you all the way from Norway. And let's see. Yeah, Amanda say vicious is an understatement. Oh yeah, the malignant ones are horrible, even to the point that they could kill. And Christina said, mine disappeared from the relationship for 3 months. We all was calling him back to back, thinking my boyfriend committed suicide from depression. She said, and he popped up 3 months later by Google Wallet. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that's about right. And see, this is why we're here discussing because a lot of people have been discarded. Discard means they fired you. Escape means you got away and you got away to freedom. And sometimes you get away to freedom. It doesn't turn off that recorder that's in your head. Like the young lady said, it was replay. Her recorder's on replay. She got triggered. And then when she got lonely, guess who you're going to think about? When you want somebody, guess who you're going to think about? You're going to think about the previous relationship if it had any value to you that you love. Now, sometime when there's two narcissists together, then one narcissist, they got the same traits, but you always have the master narcissist and the subordinate narcissist. And I'm going to deal with that when you have two narcissists together. But they end up hurting each other. They end up hurting each other. And then when they separate, they usually get a regular person. They don't get each other. But there are some narcissists that only want narcissists. She said, can you all do a Zoom conference? She said, where you do a review of Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection by Dr. Carmen Bryant. We sure can. So you talk to her about that because that's her book. So talk to her about that. She said, Christina, it was my trigger too. And even today, she said, but I turn a lot to God and keep busy. Absolutely. She said, my narc keeps saying, you just see the worst in me. No, those are the eyes of the narcissist, and the narcissist end up blaming you. And you know what you got to realize? A lot of times the narcissist is going to blame you for what's wrong with him, not what's wrong with you. They're going to blame you, but it's really them. They always talk about them. When they're accusing you of cheating, that's because they're cheating. When they say you don't care for me, they know that they don't care for you. So the narcissist always transfer what they're feeling so you can bear the gift. And once you bear the gift, that's fuel for the narcissist. He starts feeding off that fuel. And once you start belittling yourself, and once you get confused, and once you get hurt, if you notice the narcissist, they start looking better, looking younger, feeling better, because the more pain you're in, the more strength they get. She said the demon thing the narc was with 20 years said he knows that there is hell and he's going there no matter what. Well, at least he knows. She said, I really like this hairstyle on you. Oh, thank you, Nicole. God bless you. Thank you. She said he was married and now he was married and now to a new lady. Let me get that. She said now to a new lady acts just like me. Yeah, because mirroring. She said, and I never was with him. She said, even him ever. He was my religious leader in the church. She said, I respected him as a so-called father figure. Okay, but narcissists can be anywhere. They can be anywhere in the world. They can be in any office. They could be your lawyer, your judge. They can be anywhere, and wherever they are, that narcissist environment is going to be present. And see one thing, and do you see the results of do you hear us? Do you see the result of the narcissist? The narcissist always cause damage. There's not one person on here that haven't sustained some kind of damage from the narcissist, even if you escape, because not everybody was discarded. Some people actually escape. And when you escape, why did you have the need to escape? So somewhere there's trauma. The narcissist always traumatize their victim. Always. They always traumatize their victim. Christina said, tell me, yes, I hate it. Let me call you back. And she said, I tell my friends, don't say that if you're not, because I'm waiting out of respect. Yeah. She said, the narcissist married me. She said, married me, and he was still married to his first wife. Polygamy. Gee, that is a legal matter. She said, and I no longer feel worthless now. She said, it's the silent treatment again. How can a mother be so cruel? Because she's a narcissist. She really can be more cruel than that. She's a narcissist. She said, do they learn anything and everything? They do. They learn how to do more of what they're doing. She said she gathered information and look up all my friends and family who did not know her. Ephraim, that's the truth. I hate that, but they're great researchers. That's why they make good doctors, lawyers, and pathologists, because they would take years and they would research everything they want for what their selfish need is. She said, Christina, definitely the worst. He does that all the time to make you go crazy. Yeah, trauma bond is like your world revolves around him. Absolutely. In order for it to be effective, war room. Ooh, Jonathan, that's good right there. She said, and I would hear, she said, I would heal faster if I can go completely no contact, but have children with this demon. So have to be in, oh yeah, low contact. Absolutely. Absolutely. But you can rebuild your mind. She said, yeah, the profile churchman says praying for you. She said, even praying for you. Let me see. Churchman said, praying for you, even trying to sleep with you. They are married. I call them pout, but it is, she said it was horrific. Yeah, horrific. And she said, though you first of cools, I'm trying to get all of these words in, believe they have great intentions. Of course, that's why Christians, especially Christians, if you have a relationship with God, you got to know God. Just because a person say they know God, that's not going to win over my respect. And just because you say you're a leader of God, that I'm going to respect you until you prove otherwise. But if you come to me and want to go to bed with me, okay, that's disrespect. You're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting the office. And if you don't stop, I'm going to appeal that you stop, because you can say, if you don't quit, I'm just going to tell somebody. I'm going to go to someone and let them know your request and that it is against biblical standards, because the greatest damage is done in religious circles. And the thing is, people feel a trauma bond to a spiritual leader because he's supposed to be trustworthy. She's supposed to be trustworthy. And they're doing all of this damage because they know that most people are going to be subservient. I am a spiritual leader. I am a senior pastor, so I understand the depth of what that involves and how people respect you. But respect has to be earned. It's not automatically given. You learn to trust people. You don't automatically trust them. And when they show you who they are, you have to believe it, because when people show you, Maya Angelou said, believe them the first time. Believe them the first time. When you know a leader is trying to sleep with you, you know a leader is conducting themselves in a perverse and sexual way, then you know that leader has done that before, doing that, and that's not the place that you should be. You should leave that church. If you stay in the church, what are you saying? What are you saying when you know your leader is perverse? What are you saying when you know your leader is sleeping around with the girls, with the guys? Because some of them are bisexual and some of them are having sex with children. Some of them are pedophiles. But so if you know something, then see who you can say something to. But you should be out the door. That's not an obligation to stay in a church and you know the leader is perverse, because eventually it's going to come to you. And if that leader know that you're on to them, they're going to do a smear campaign, turn everybody against you. So if you say something, nobody believe it because they know you see them. She said, all I know is that I need another conference. I need my happy energy again and my fellow survivors. She said, I'm getting angry again. When is the next one, Mom? This is Christina. Christina, we are working on one right now. Just give me a little bit and I'm coming. I wanted to do one in February, even though we're doing a conference in December. The next empath conference that we're going to do is February. So maybe Dr. Carmen and Brian and I will come on and give an exclusive opportunity for you all to ask questions. And usually when we do a conference, if you will commit to me for 4 hours, if you want a conference, and we can do a conference in December. If you want a conference in December, I want you to write me, because I will modularize my schedule around building this conference, and it will be a paid conference because Dr. Carmen is my daughter, but this is her skill, so this can't be free. So if you want this conference, I want you to write me at Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. If I can get 30 individual to commit to this conference, it's on. We will get it. We will get you registered, and we will do this conference. And we will have it like we did the empath conference, where you will begin to free associate. You will begin to talk about what happened to you, and you will begin to get answers. And we are ministering to each other, because some of the things you're going through, somebody there is there. They're right there. And so when you are telling them what you're going through, you are giving them their answers, and they are hearing things that they needed to hear come from you. These conferences is family with family giving answers, because where you are, somebody is right there, and what you have overcome, somebody is waiting to overcome. Your strength can be transposed to them, transferred to them, and they will pick up your strength and be able to go, because trauma bonding is serious business. A lot of people have lost their minds, had nervous breakdown in institution behind trauma bonding, and what the narcissist is doing, triangulating even their families. They will go through family, whatever service the narcissist, don't matter who it is, they will they will benefit from that service. And they go, when a narcissist is desperate, they will go anywhere where the fuel is. And that's why you have to watch bringing your friends around them, bringing your family around them, especially when you have naivety with your friends or naivety with your family. They will pull them on in, and the next thing you know, he got flying monkeys, and these flying monkeys are against you when they were once your friends. 20 years of friendship, meet the narcissist, in 2 months he got them triangulating, and now they are against you, because they are competing against you now, because they want that narc, and that narc knows them. And so he will always put out a concession where he creates division and keep them away, because he knows that was your friend, and he's triangulating with them, and your friend desired them because that addiction. I'm getting ready to do a video on that. about the addiction, but I'm the rescue addiction. And I'm telling you, a lot of times the narcissists would meet people, and these people wanted to be rescued. They want to be rescued by the narcissist, and they would do anything to set up a rescue mission. They will create trauma. They will create a situation so the narcissist can step in, but it's just a bait. And some people, and I want to do a video, is when the bait or when the supply attracts the narcissist, and what happens when the supply hoovers the narcissist so the narcissist can hook them. They set themselves up in the presence of the narcissist because they want that narcissist, and when they want that narcissist, they don't care what it takes. They don't care who they cross. They want the narcissist, and a lot of times once they sleep with the narcissist, it's over. That trauma bonding start, and they're hooked. And now the person that loved you is against you. And let's see. Barbara say, thank you, Lenny. I hope you will be free the first of the year. She said, I gave so much and now I'm fighting. Okay, guys, y'all are communicating without me. Keep me in the loop. She said, will the narcissists come after you for vengeance if you have put them in prison? Of course they will. Of course they will. They're revenge, remember? Christina said, Tom is very true. She said, I was up for 3 weeks after the conference. She said, now I'm in my angry down days because I was triggered. If y'all do that, if you email me, we will get it right on. And you can be up for 3 more weeks, even longer. She said, yes, intuition never takes wrong. Yeah, the Holy Ghost, he gives you discernment. And empath, remember, you got to trust that empath has tuition too. She said, this is Karma. She said, my spirit told me not to introduce the narc to my friends, and I'm glad I listened to my intuition. Absolutely, because right now he will have flying monkeys. She said, very sorry. That's true, Barbara. The only way is to get away. She said, with no contact, absolutely, as good as can. Also with the narc mother and family. She said, but the family, pray for them. Good advice. She said, very sorry. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Destiny Hepper at 12s.com. Wait a minute. Destiny Hepper 12s at gmail.com. And Katrina said, what was your email again? Okay, that's why she gave Destiny Hepper 12s at gmail.com. Christina says, I can commit for 8 hours, no food needed. I will be there. Yeah, just let me know. We'll do it. We'll put it right on. She said, why would my narc discard me, then vandalize my property and slash my tires? That's what they do. That's punishment. That's retribution. He wanted to hurt you, so he's figured out a way to hurt you, destroy your property. I mean, what is it going to cost him? You have to get that fixed. He wants to immobilize you, and he wants to keep you locked down. So what he do? He go after your property, and he destroys your property. But remember, we talking about trauma bonding, what you will go through. See, when the narcissist, you belong to them. You are their property, and you, oh my God, when they find out you're dating someone, that's very, very dangerous for a narcissist, because they feel like you have my property. And they could be gone for 9 months and come back. You always belong to the narcissist. And the narcissist, even if you get married after they leave, they will try to break up your marriage. Can a sociopath narcissist, malignant narcissist, get the fear of God in them from a super empath and cease their vile way? It won't be the fear of God, but you can get them off your trail. A super empath is an empath that done went through some, and people think a super empath is based on the level of their power. No, a super empath is based on the level of their growth and their experience. So if you are an empath and you grow up with that knowledge, you grow up with that information, you matriculate over to the realm of a super empath. A super empath is like a Mother Teresa, a person who has knowledge, they has wisdom. They grown in what they are. They more comfortable in their skin. See, all of this insecurity with a super empath, no, 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 no. A super empath is like a greater narcissist. A greater narcissist is not a novice. They're very skilled in what they do. They're very intentional in what they do. They are strategists. So is the super empath. And usually with a super empath, the only level of narcissist can even handle them is a greater narcissist, because they will just bulldoze over others, because a super empath, they have super empath as being this weak, vulnerable individual. The weak, vulnerable individual is when they are wounded and unlearned, unskilled, they don't know who they are. And then now you got weak, vulnerable empath. But a super empath, oh, they can level up with a greater narcissist, and they'll crush other narcissists. They're out of their rank trying to mess with a super empath. And a super empath will soon know that and probably grow weary, even though they're taking them through trauma. The super empath is out of there. This is Lotus. She said, I'm a super empath, interdependent. She said, no contact with the narcissist mother, and devious, envious family member. Oh, baby, you're a super empath. You are something to behold. And it's probably good that you got away from them, because supernova would drain you, but it would give them a spanking that they remember. She said, tell everyone I emotional abused him, reason he left. Oh, well, they're liars. He said, but he knows the truth. Yeah, and I wouldn't even give that any thought. I wouldn't give that any thought. Yeah, they lie, and people who know them know they lie. She's almost 2 years after discard the nut, and he discovered that I had rented a room in my house to an old school friend and sent his flying monkey. Yeah, nosy. That's me dating a narc victim. She said, I crushed them. Mine told me I needed to quit praying. Absolutely, because you're beating them and whooping them every time you do. She said, they're demons, Satan help her. Absolutely. And this is Vat Marie. She said, my ex-narc husband did the same thing. He stabbed all 4 of my tires. She said, on the side of the wall were not repairable, and she said he must have gotten mad that I ignored his 200 back-to-back private call because I blocked him. Absolutely. See, you cause a narcissistic injury. See, that's an injury. And he was responding to that injury because what you told him, he wasn't all that. Remember, a narcissist believe I'm God's gift to every woman, or I'm God's gift to every man. And you let them know you brought them down the size, and they can't take that. And the fact that they could not connect you and could not hook you, I mean, you caused a serious narcissistic injury. Okay. Carmen said, I found out. She said, I found out of my state. He has stand your ground law, so I'm ready to level up with the narc. She said, and they better get away from me forever. You just be careful. Don't use your anger to lose your energy to deal with him. Use your wisdom and keep your energy. Don't take your anger and lose your energy, because when you get angry, you just do things. You're reactionary instead of responsive. Responsive would mean you're responsible. You take time to strategize. You strategize with a narcissist because that's all they do is think. If you notice, the narcissists hardly sleep. They don't need sleep because the enemy is a vagabond spirit, and they don't sleep. They're roamers. They're vagabonds. So you need sleep. You need rest, and you need peace. Never retaliate. You may have to bring correction to a situation, but don't do it out of retaliatory spirit, where when you're releasing it, you're releasing energy. And guess who's getting all that energy? You're losing energy and they're gaining energy. She said that truth, use that energy to forgive and move on. That's right, Marie. Absolutely. Lotus said the mirror shaking the pence. She thinks she is God and underestimate me. Absolutely. Every single time. Every single time, but that's their mistake. We know that they're making a mistake, because when you underestimate me, really the best of me is going to come forth through your underestimation. And so they're underestimating you. And guess what? Big, 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 big mistake. Once you get control of your feelings and they gray rock, when you gray rock them, you show them nothing, they have to leave, because the narcissist got to have fuel. And once you don't give them fuel, they can't stay. They will not stay. So don't ever give out and feed your enemy. When the snake is hungry and they pet that snake, and a lot of people have this python, and as long as the python, he dances around the baby, he goes over the baby, he gets around the baby, but he never kills the baby. Why? Because he's always fed, he's always full. But once you starve that serpent, the same baby that he got around, he will choke that baby to death and put that baby head first, even though that baby is too big for it to swallow. He would tear his mouth and kill himself trying to intake food. And that's what happens with a narcissist. When you go gray rock, they would tear themselves to try to eat, because like a vampire needs blood, they need food. And when you gray rock, they leave. They can't stay. They will discard. They will. And it's no, and a lot of times we think they're so in love with us, they don't miss you. That's why a narcissist, when you break up with them, the next week they got somebody else. When you break up, you got to get over them. You don't have anybody else for 2 or 3 months. And when you do, it's not because you love them. It's because you're trying to make yourself forget them, and then you just draw what you left. Hopefully that makes sense. And Lenny say the religious ones think they are over God and all rules. You are definitely telling the truth. God Glam said that's good. That is so true. They do believe that they're God. That's why they want all of your attention. That's why they don't even want you to keep the kids. If you know, once they come home, you got to have most of the stuff you want to do for the children, because they're taking all the time. So you're trying to be with him and do and work with the kids. And what you find yourself, you are burnt out. Your mind is in a mind fog, and you are in a daze, because you're trying to take care of the kids and take care of them, and they don't care none about those kids as far as you putting the kids first. No, you're going to put him first, and then you take care of the children. And C. Thomas say, yes, they always have someone else waiting before the discard. Yep, that's when they discard, when they done hook them. Anne Marie degrouped. She said he attempt to kick off the internet connection at the back of the house. Oh my God, that's a malignant narcissist. You have to watch the malignant narcissist. If a narcissist make you a promise, 9 times out of 10, he's seeking how to keep it. Never take him for granted. Never take lightly the threats of a narcissist, because you got to remember they're toxic. So they're meditating on that toxicity all day. They will find a way. And most people with a malignant narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, a psychopath can kill and go to bed. It doesn't bother them. A sociopath is very dangerous. A malignant narcissist is very dangerous. The narcissists themselves are dangerous. But when you put a specialty attachment to that narcissist, they become even more dangerous. So usually when a narcissist tell you they're going to do something, they take that energy and they feed on the thought, and they feed on the thought, and they will even love bomb you to catch you off guard to do what they promised to do. And they Think about that all the time. They don't have love. Love covers a multitude of sins, the Bible says. So it removes things that are weak out of the way, and the dominant factor becomes love. Well, the narcissist doesn't do that. So they're at the weakest level, making promises to hurt you, to cause you to demise, because all they're concentrated on is how you hurt them, what you said to them, the narcissistic injury that you caused. They burn up your clothes, take your ring. You take your ring off, put it on the dresser, and you can't find it. The narcissist got it and pawned it. And then eventually he get angry enough, he'll tell you what he did, like you can't do nothing. And so a lot of things that you may be looking for when you have a husband, and you can't find your bank card, you can't find your wallet, you can't find your keys. They got those things, and you're looking at them asking that they see it, and they're looking you right in your eyes and don't blink and tell you, I didn't do it, and they got it. And by the grace of God, you can find your keys. Some of you never did. You have to have another set made, which set you back going to work and doing the things that you needed to do. And that is a malignant narcissist. She said only end up with drained and exhausted. She said with no time other than 24/7. That was also psychopath and guest and sociopath. She said broke all my fingers. Oh my God. Very violent she's very violent with sex and what all he was thinking of. Yeah. Yeah, that's a malignant narcissist. You want to stay away from them. Don't answer any calls. If you have children, hopefully you call the police in that event, had a police report. So when you go to court, they won't give the children to him because they will see that he's violent and he's not good for the children. So make sure that when you being beat, you make a police report. Even if you have to go, don't go to a family member that they know, go somewhere else. Even if you have to go to a shelter that they know nothing about, then go to a shelter. A malignant narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, they are very, 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 very dangerous. Don't take this for granted. Don't let air get under your feet. Protect you and those children. That narcissist is filled, and you check out your atmosphere, because usually when this type of anger come up in your atmosphere, you can feel it in the house. It feels hot. It feels sweaty. A stale smell come. You feel nauseated. You feel like somebody's pressing on your head. You feel like something is watching you, that something is there. You can feel the presence of that entity, and that's God warning you. You got to get up out of there and get those children out if you feel threatened. If you don't feel safe, don't keep yourself there. You can get a house. You can get clothes. Get to safety. Safety first. Safety first. Safety first, because many of the malignant narcissists, sociopath, psychopathic narcissists will hurt the children also. And if you pick that up, don't stay there. Don't stay there. Move out of there. Get help if you feel threatened, or you feel that your life is in danger, or the kids are crying and the kids feel fear. That fear is in the house, because mom, you may be the only go between life and death. You may be the only go between safety and peace. And don't be afraid to stand up and stand out in those situations. And you can go to the shelter. Call your shelter. I'm going to start putting that 1-800 number at the end, so those of you can go back and get that 1-800 number international, and you can tell them I'm in the threat zone. I'm threatening me and my children, and we feel very unsafe. There are emergency shelters that they will take you to, and sometimes they will even provide rides. If you don't know that, go to a Catholic church. A Catholic church usually have more than Pentecostals and others. The Catholic church usually have have an avenue of rescue, and they rescue women and men that are in domestic violence situation and protect the children. The only thing about that, they may have to send you to somebody else's house and send the kids somewhere else. And if the children have never been away from you, that can be a shock treatment for them. So think about the consequences of staying there, and then eventually when you leave, the children is somewhere and you here and they're with strangers. So they are terrified, and most kids start urinating on themselves, defecating on themselves, throwing up, having a problem eating, having a problem sleeping, pulling out their hair, grinding their teeth, scratching themselves, scratching walls, bumping their head up against the wall. All of this because of traumatic situation, and this traumatic syndrome, this child don't know how to handle all that negative energy flowing through their body because of what has happened to their mom, what has happened to their dad, and then now they're separated. So rather than to separate those kids who've never been separated from you, and you got to think that you have to live for those kids. You can't think about suicide. You can't think about hurting yourself because those kids need you. They would be tremendously traumatized without you. So you have to think ahead. You have to think ahead. You know when that situation is toxic. Override your feelings for the narcissist for the safety of your family. Don't let your feeling be the catalyst of the decision you're making, because those feelings can change. And you see, the narcissist is unstable. He's unstable. When the narcissist don't feel like they have you in their grip, that can be dangerous for you and the children, because some narcissists have the mindset that if they can't have you, nobody will, because you are their property, and they're not ready to relinquish property. Their property is not for sale. And so they take down the sale sign and they put a stamp on it. And that can be very misery, be total misery for you and the babies. And your ultimate goal is to protect those children. And so let's see what we have. She said, that's why it's harder to let go. And she said, and keep taking them back, even knowing who they are, is like a drug. No, it is a drug. And the drug is the narcissist. She said, wow, Anne Marie. She said, as a grown up, I urinated on myself because I was afraid they were following me home. She said, one night, and I was driving. Followed me home, she said, and I was driving, and I would not stop to use the bathroom. See, that's fear. That's torture. She said, if there is evil on the planet, it is the narcs. I am convinced of this. This is from Barbara Ray. She said, but since we have been living apart over 2 years now, she said, he is cowardly, terrified of me because he knows that I evolved into, Hekoya. Super empath, and he knows that I fear nothing. And see, he is a covert narcissist. A covert narcissist is fearful. She said, yeah, when the devil can't destroy you, he sends a narcissist. Absolutely. She said, and they would try to take the children away from you and bring the children on their side. Absolutely. That's why you have to be wise. Don't just leave with the children. Think about it. Make a plan. Get a police report and get a right to leave. Put up a restraining order. She said, my mom had a trauma bond with a narc minister dad, and she was an angel. She was a tormented angel. She said, do not fear the narc and don't show emotions. They are cowards. Not all narcs are cowards. Not all. Let me tell you something. Don't play with them. You don't play with them because they have no love. You don't play with them because they're demonic. We can think and we will say, well, I'm not going to be bothered with you. We will be tactful. We will be careful because we have feelings. And so don't play with a narcissist. If you've been with a narcissist, I've been doing this and I've been dealing with this for over 30 some years. And I can tell you, I've seen some serious things done. Don't play with the narcissist. Just get up out of there. Get a restraining order. If you got kids, get up out of there. Go to a court and tell them what is happening. I fear for my life. I fear for my children, and get a restraining order. Don't play with that narc, because their feelings will go beyond where you're willing to go, because you are loving, you're caring, and you have restriction, and you don't want to just use people. You don't want to act like the narcissist. You don't want to turn into hate, because when you're with the narcissist and you get angry, you get revengeful, and there's no difference now between you and the narc. And so what happened is you're on an even plane. But how can you rebuke the enemy when you are when you are conducting yourself just like the frequency he is? No, that demon spirit will ride you in the way that he already got the narcissist. So what happened is he will ride you in the way and bring you over, because the Bible says, how can Satan cast out Satan? You don't want to compromise who you are. Don't play with these people. These people are no joke, and they are no play zone, because at least you can be around people who will have a heart, who feel. These people don't feel. And if they can hurt people, traumatize people, and sleep well, don't play with them. Get up out of there if you can. And I appreciate your boldness, but you got to use wisdom. Use wisdom. You can't control a narcissist. You're not going to overthrow them. You can wound them, and once you wound them, make sure you leaving. Make sure you're on your way out. Don't wound them staying in the house, because they're going to get you back. That's really crazy. That's just like throwing a bomb in the house, and everybody's in the house. Everybody get blown up. And you don't want to blow that up. You want to be strategic. You want to be wise. You want to plan your way out. You want to plan for your children. Don't stay in the house thinking that you're going to beat up the narcissist, that you're going to overthrow the narcissist. That's crazy. He's a narc. It's just like overthrowing a mailbox. By the time you shoot it, stab it, kick it, it has no feelings. It has none. You are loving, you are caring, and you don't want to lose that. And when you find that you're losing that, it's really time for you to get strategic, because then you're losing who you are. Do not play with a narc. So listen to me with the experience. Thank you for your information you've given there, but you're not going to beat a narc. And just because they're covert, and they are fearful, and the covert can be very cowardice. They can be. A malignant narcissist, psychopath, and sociopath is not going to be cowardice. They don't care. They will fight in front of the police. They do not care. A covert narcissist will protect themselves. It ain't that they care for you. They are more concerned about protecting themselves. And they don't have outbursts. They're strategic. But the psychopath, the sociopath, and the malignant, they have outbursts. Sometimes they're overt narcissists. They don't care. They just say what they're going to say, deal with it or die. They don't care. But when you got a covert, that covert will put the responsibility on you. You will carry the covert. They'll make you carry their weight. And then if you bark too hard, they're over in the corner. But while they're over in the corner, they are strategically seeing how to get you back. Let me see. She said, I know her all my love. She said, my situation is not with the man. All right. She said, they really are devils and last resort to destroy you. The last resort is to destroy you. She said, it works because you never seen anything like them. Absolutely. She said, they are demonically possessed. Okay. She said, thanks, Helen. It's tempting to make some I know it is, baby. I know, Lenny. I know. She said, but you're right. Absolutely, princess. You know what? I want you always to have the greatest empowerment and the greatest victory, especially those of you who cannot leave that narcissist. You cannot follow instructions to act that way, because even if they didn't get you, guess what they have? They have the kids, and they will go after the kids. They will hurt the kids, and some narcissists hurt the child, and you wondering what happened. You happen. So use wisdom when you have to be there, and let God help you strategically plan an escape. You know, you can't leave. You can't take the kids. Those are his kids too. He have just as much right to those kids as you do. But you can strategically plan an escape if you feel that your life is in jeopardy. And so you can plan the court systems, get the courts to work for you, get a lawyer that is familiar with narcissism. If not, it's usually going to work in their benefit because they are brass stealth liars, and they go through the emotional state that with the spirit of persuasion and get the judges to go with them. So when you have to stay with the narcissist, use wisdom, baby, because you're still in the house, you're still with your children. And those of you that may not have kids and you just don't have anywhere else to go, then you have to use wisdom. You have to plan your exodus. Okay, we got a few more. Let's do a few more and then we'll come back on the next time. She said he came back in my life many years later. She said, and it's at the time I was closer to God. And she said, and it was to destroy me. Absolutely. Absolutely. You cannot take them back. You cannot take them back. I cannot emphasize that. And Karma said, thank you for your concern. She said, but I was a royal queen, Hebrew Israelite kingdom warrior. And she said, that's extremely powerful, intimate relationship with my creator, the Most High. I understand that, but listen to me too. Listen to wisdom, Anne Marie. Listen to wisdom. I almost feel like your mom now. You listen to wisdom, daughter. Don't you be hard-headed. She said, she said, I knew her all of my life and my situation is not with a man. Absolutely. Absolutely. She said, excuse me, and she said, go ahead, sis. High vibration, much respect. She said, they want us dead. She said, yes, Helen, the ex took my children in courts. He has them and is abusing them. You know, I have dealt with thousands of cases. I've dealt with thousands of cases. I'm on this platform because of that, and I want to help. I've seen people live. I've seen people die. I've seen people use wisdom. I've seen them not use wisdom. I am an empath. I understand how it is to be a super empath. I understand all of this. The reason I can do an empath conference because I understand that we're more sensitive than other people. We're more intuitive than other people. I'm also a prophetess, so I understand the religious side of and discernment side. And I'm telling you, when you get people who cannot refuse to change, you can't do anything. Jesus had Judas, and Judas walked with Jesus like the other disciples, and he ended up betraying Christ and hanging himself. And it's not that he didn't have truth, he wouldn't listen to truth. And those of you who trust me, if you trust me, listen to me. Empath is not a prideful person. They are confident. Empath is a pure-hearted being that want to help and assist. And when they go supernova, you gonna get a spanking that you remember. Oh, you gonna remember that spanking. You won't ever forget it. Probably dead, you'll wake up and remember and go back. But you are not going to forget if an empath, and you usually have to take them to that point, because they just don't do that, because an empath can be right and do something that's horrific and they start feeling bad because their whole being is to help, to deliver, to heal. They are God's healer agent in the earth, helping people in their situation, in their emotion. That's why they're so compassionate and they have healing, because they can go where nobody else can go and work through a situation that nobody else can work through. So a lot of times when you're with a narc, you turn bitter because they do so much damage, but you are a wounded soul if that happened. And your wounds, the wounded soul has to be healed, because wounded souls have holes in them. And these holes have to be healed because you got a lot of misfire going on in your soul realm. And so instead of connecting and going with a synchronized frequency, you are pot shotting all over the world. You're not synchronized. There's disorder in the mind, and it can be chaos in the mind. And really what you're doing is instinctive that you fight back. And so you are fighting back out of instinct. You're fighting back out of survival. And we understand that. And we're there to say we're pulling you out of the mug because you're scratching and clawing. And nobody gets in your space because of anger, because of hurt, because of trauma, horrific pain that you've been through. We understand that. And that's why we're here. We are here to help you. And we are here to solidify that you are one of God's greatest plans and God's greatest position. But we don't want you to cause yourself to be impotent from the anger and from the hurt. It's all right to be angry. Just don't be revengeful. It's all right to get them out of your space, back them off of your space. That's wisdom, because if not, they will polarize you and torment you. So you have to get them off your space and you have to get them out of your zone, but don't go to vengeance, because that is a turn back system. It always hit from the original root. She said, well, not injury, all is injured for them. Okay. She said, my mother thought she could move in silence and get away with her big secrets. She said, but I exposed her big narcissistic injury. Absolutely. Vicky said, Jesus bless everyone. I hear you, Vicky. She said, yes, we are courageous, brave, fearless, unstoppable. This is not pride, arrogant. She said, no, my purpose and who I am. Anne-Marie, we are not here to divide, baby. We're not fighting against you. We're fighting for you. And we're not going to let that in the court. We're not going to divide here. Not on this site. There's no division on this site. We got enough of that with the narcissists. Baby, in this corner, we got you. We're holding your hands up. I understand that. I raise up people like you. I raise up preachers, ministers, apostles, bishops all day long. So you're not going to get no disagreement out of me. She said, faith is confidence. It's Anne-Marie again. And that no weapon. Okay, Anne, I'm going to just let you go with that. I'm going to let you go with that. Because when you done been with the narc, you can get used to. Okay. And we don't need you to fight us. Take all that energy, yeah, and put it in the right court, little princess. Monica, she said, I need healing. I believe him and trust him. He moved out of the country trying to live here with my little boy. She said, and he is in the States. I'm struggling, so nothing is working. Monica, if you keep listening to these videos, I promise you, you will get confident. You will get strong. You will allow the healing process of God. Your mind goes wherever you go, and your mind could be in your situation and be strong. And you can be strong. It look like you don't have any help, but I'm telling you, help is in your mind. Once we feed your mind and give you your strength and position your will, you will get up on your feet. There's nothing impossible for you, and you will be able to take care of your little boy. Good, he's gone, so now your mind can be free. The fog will leave, and you will have hindsight, and sometimes hindsight is 2020. Get that hindsight in position and fight, fight, fight. You got all of us on here to get behind you and rally behind you. The narcissist wanted you to suffer, but you should live and not die. And you're going to make it, and you and your son is going to make it. You're getting ready to be the strongest you've ever been, the most powerful you ever been. You're getting ready to have the most supply than you ever had. You're going to be able to feed him. You're going to be able to take care of him. Just stick with these videos. Just stick with us. Yes, just stick with us. She said, no, you are not. Anne-Marie knows. No, we will not block Anne-Marie. We need Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie is a strength to us. She's empowerment to us. We will not. We will not. We need her. That's strength for us. Anne-Marie is strength for us. And we love her. That's what we do. And see, a person can come on strong. We need her strength. She's a balancer of us. She said, what does a narc injury feel for the narcissist if they don't love. What does the narc injury feel? That narc injury hurts. It hurts them. She said, I'm not bringing division. Don't do that. And we together, baby. We're together. Thank you for being on this program. We need you here. You are a strength. We need you here. You are a strength. And we'll strengthen this forum with your energy. Yeah. And I mean, I listen to Empath Uprising. I love her too, but you make your own choices, Princess, but I love you. I appreciate you, and we need your strength, and we want to thank you for being here because you're adding something to this forum. You're adding to this forum. And as you add to this forum, when a person feel weak, we can pull from that positive energy. We can pull from that positive strength. And the one thing about it, you're solid. And when there's so much pain, you need someone like you that you can pull that strength and be solid. No, don't leave. Stay right where you are. She said, thank you, Apostle. Yes. And see, that's what I'm saying. She said, I am damaged. She said, but I have enough strength and to protect my kids. She said, and that all that mattered to me. Oh yeah, I feel the same way. She said, Anne Marie, don't leave, dear. You are a strong woman. Oh, well, we got her. She is a strength here. She said, yes, we are connected. And by God, absolutely. We just have to balance the system. We just have to balance the system. You need an Anne Marie when you're going through and you don't know what to do. You need her strength, and you can feed for her strength because she's a balancer. She's an equalizer. And when you get an equalizer, they balance the system. And you don't need someone that's always struggling. You need someone that knows. You need someone that knows. And that's why empath is good to be around super empaths. It's good to be around super empath because what a super empath would do is cover the empath. They will bring out the strength of an empath. And the empath need to be around super empath that done went through some stuff, and then they will cover them and they will bring you up. Right now, we're bringing you up. And that's what is happening here. Everything that Marie said is powerful. Everything that Anne Marie said is right. Let's pull from that energy, especially the young lady who was talking about her son. Pull from this forum. This forum is behind you. We're rallying behind you. And we're saying that you can make it. An empath, the one thing about an empath, they're very honest people. They're very honest people, and they're transparent. And they want to be who they are once they learn who they are. But little princess, you and your son is going to make it even when he's out of the country. The Bible said we're fearfully and wonderfully made. God knows what he's doing. And you have a family right here. She said, what is the difference between an empath and a super empath? The difference between the empath and a super empath is a baby, a teenager, and an adult. The super empath is the mature empath. They done went through some things. They got battle scars. So these are your captains, your majors, your lieutenant colonels, and your generals. They know. And a lot of times their mindset is to plan the strategy for the war. The general sits in the blue room and send the plans down to the lieutenant colonel, to the colonel, and bring it down to the captain, and the captain to the major, and the warriors. And that's what the empath is. The super empath has a mind of victory. They have the skills of warriors, and they're over troops. That means that they have the ability to mobilize the troop and bring them in. And what I like is if you had to see a super empath is just like Anne Marie, where she's bringing in that affirmation. She's bringing in that confirmation. She's bringing in that strength. She's drawing the sword and she's cutting things up while you get away. She's fighting while you get away. And then when she's fighting, she sends troops to give you water, to give everything that you need while she's on the battleground. So the super empath is the level, the skill level. She said, yes, and we must have self-awareness. Absolutely. And that's what we're doing with empath. And that's the problem. And that's how the enemy gets over on us when we don't know who we are. But when we know who we are, we can set up a force field and fight against him. And that's why I did the wounded empath. The wounded empath. Go listen to that video. That's only part one. The wounded empath is when they was raised up with torture, torment, and they are attracted to the torturer, and they don't know who they are, because once an empath is raised up, there's something to deal with. They are forced to deal with. But just think about what an empath is. They're going in disastrous area and they are helping. And what to make other folks sick on their stomach, that empath will go in there and strategize and bring these people out. Okay, she said, when we know who we are, they're done. Yep, they usually going to discard you when you know who you are. She said, sometimes if a super empath don't have boundaries, they can resemble a narcissist. That's when you cross them. When you cross them, that's when they cross over. When they go supernova, they can mimic a narcissist. That's why they back down, because once you're supernova, you don't penetrate their emotions. There ain't nothing you can do with them but get away from them. And they penetrate. You can't win them over. There ain't no sorrow. There ain't nothing, because it takes a lot for them to get to that. So a super impact will always go to the highest quality of giving, the highest quality of love, the highest quality of nurturing, the highest quality of understand. But they'll release a firepower that'll go around the corner when you turn, and they'll find you. She said, you have to protect the gift. Absolutely. She said, it's so true, Helen. Yeah. She said, when we know who we are, they're done. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, what else do we have? She said, well said, unite and conquer. Christian, she said, I wish I could just bug everyone in this chat. I'm feeling for everyone tonight. She said, we all did not deserve any of this, nor the anger. She said, now we carry that. Is not ours. I feel the pain. Let me tell you something though. The good thing is, sometimes you need to write a thank you letter to the narcissist, because we wouldn't have known this if we hadn't experienced this. We would not be able to give this extent of healing and love if we have not known this. And what happened is, when the empath gets in their proper place, you will be amazed how order just fall in. Order just rolls in. And this is what makes, I believe, our forums so effective, because we have empaths, we have prophets, teachers, evangelists, apostles, we have other individual wisdom, we have other individuals with knowledge, we have other individuals that love and care. And so that makes this forum more powerful, because where the narcissists keep that away from them, they come on this forum and they get everything they can't get at home, or they get everything that the narcissists try to prevent them, and they gain strength and they gain power. We are a very powerful people. We're not moved by insults. We are strong, and we're not moved by anything but purpose. And what is our purpose is what drives us. And what drives us is what we know. And what we know is God-given talent, God-given anointing. And we are empowered all the time. And sometimes it doesn't matter how empowered you are. If you don't catch that the reason we all got tricked. Because we wouldn't have been in a relationship with a narcissist if we knew what we were doing. Because it's a waste of time. You've been with them for 60, 50 years, and they still the same. But we got all of that knowledge, and we go to help the young people who don't know. This is Enlightened Goddess. She said, how do I stop having dream nightmares about about my narc ex? She said, and I went to total no contact 3 months ago, but he appears in my dreams from time to time trying to communicate with me. Okay, that's the mystics. Yeah, that's the mystic narcissist. We're going to talk about that. She said, whistleblowers. She said, truth tellers. Absolutely. Absolutely. She said, so thankful for what I've endured. She said, cause it strengthened me in the area. She said, I thought I had failed. Absolutely. She said, Satan and the narcs have been attempting to bring divide and conquer. She said, right here tonight, she said, we must seek truth. And okay, Marie, I wish you would write me. I would like to talk to you personally. But let me tell you something. I'm on here because I know what I'm doing, right? And we're coming together. I'm telling you that the power that exuberates with us, a narcissist can sense when you have empowered yourself because he becomes fearful. And sometimes the narcissist discarded you, not because something was wrong. He felt something right. And when he tried to penetrate, like he's penetrating your dream, that's the mystic narcissist. Some narcissists do white magic, black magic. And some narcissists, I had one girl, when she go to sleep, the narcissist will whisper in her ear what he wanted her to do, and she would catch him, and when she would wake up, he would turn over like nothing. The frequency of a narcissist is to train your mind that we call them night stalkers, and the night stalkers gets in your dream and stalk your subconscious, and they stalk your subconscious, so when you awake, it brings to the conscious level, and you always think of them, you always want them, you always crave them, you're ruminating with them. And it's like the addiction keep on stirring because they can't give it to you outside of the dream because you are getting stronger. So they're letting you know you have a sense of strength about you. Then now you have to come through the night. So the night stalkers stalk your subconscious and implant thoughts into your mind and tell you, so you have to get up and uproot that with your mouth. I uproot everything that you plant in my mind. I will not succumb to anything that you plant in my mind. I will do this. And you start making your own announcement. You start making your own proclamation. And when you start making your own proclamation, that will be what you do. That will be what you say. And that will be what happened. The night stalker, you rebuke the night stalkers. I mean, you render them totally ineffective. Your mind is powerful. And if you put your mouth with your mind, it is non-stoppable, and you will stop the narcissist, and he will not be able to penetrate your mind once you shield your mind. If you're a Christian, you know to pray. Prayer puts up a shield. Then you read books. Those of you read the Bible. You can read Psalms. You can read Proverbs. Things that's going to energize your mind, give you strength. And those of you can read other books of encouragement, other books of strength that you feed your mind where your mind is not vulnerable to a narcissistic attack in your night hour. So these night stalkers, they will not be able to penetrate your mind, because even though it's night, it's light in your mind, and the enemy cannot stand light. She said it was not. She said if it was not for the witchcraft, the narc would be laughing joke. It would be a laughing joke to me. And he still can. She said, I do believe he's participating in witchcraft based on his family history. I know, and it's a work of the flesh, so you have to go above that frame. When you go above that frame, there's nothing they can do. She said, yes, they do. The only thing can do is call for Jesus, his blood, and angelic protection. Yeah, you can make decrees and demand also. Yeah. She said, experience dealing with demonic spirits. My own sister passed away 6 years from manic depression. Oh, baby, I know you got some power and authority. And see, you've been through something in order to have the kind of legacy that you're portraying here. I understand that. She said, in the name of Jesus, I decree that Dr. Sattler, no devil, and rebuke that spirit. Rest is for me. Absolutely, absolutely. And you will rest and you will sleep. The Bible said he give his beloved sweet sleep. Not only that, but you will have sweet sleep. When you lay down the intention of rest that is intended for your body, you will have that. You will not age. He will renew your youth like the eagles. You will have the energy you need. I have a system called FET, F-E-T, Focus Energy Target. focus, energy, target. You focus, you put your energy toward that focus, and then you take that focus and you target. Your target is victory. Your target is to make sure that you protect those children from any harm, any danger. If you feel that and if you plan your escape and you go to the court, that God will give you favor in the courts will surrender. You bind the spirit of persuasion and disillusionment, and God will give you favor. Not every narcissist win in court. Sometimes you win too. Yeah, focus, energy, target. Absolutely. She said, I am writing that down. Good girl. She said, there is YouTube Bible page where the read scripture while you sleep. She said, I listen that to keep them from night terrors. And she said, while I sleep, she said, please. She said, it's horrible when you're fighting in your sleep. Absolutely. But I mean, they got where you can go on YouTube. They got the music that play, and some of you, the rain, and it totally relaxes you. Because once you unify with rest and you unify with relaxation, that's hard for the narcissist to penetrate. That's why they use night terrors, because he connects with the fear. He needs the fear. He needs the uneasiness, because once you have peace bounce him off. He can't penetrate that wall. He cannot penetrate your peace wall. She said, and one day I looked at my narc's eyes. She said, and such sense of darkness came over me. She said, and I knew since then his soul was dark and I was going to fight for my life. Yeah, that's the narcissistic stare. It only takes one time and you'll never forget it. She said, I've been paying attention to that narcissistic behavior for a while. I just thank God. And Christina say, it's God restarting you and showing you all that's been hurting you even before the knock. She said, remember, there's always one in our family. Okay, Anne Marie said, we are conquerors, we are non-stoppable, we are blessed, we're highly favored. Put your faith, trust, and confidence in the Most High that knows all things. And that's a good amen to that. Sheila says Psalms 109. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's get this last one, and then we are going to come back next week. She said many empaths has in them to know I have. She said for long back in the family, so others should be glad. She said one is saved. She said the Holy Spirit and Jesus instead. Honest, hated. War against witchcraft. Absolutely. She said, I know that stare. It comes up once in a while. Oh, yeah, and it's scary because it's penetrable. Yeah. She said, we must stand on the promises of the holy word of God. Absolutely. She said, I just asked you about the first warning signs. I read flag that shake my head could be a narcissist. That's why once you pick it up, you leave it. Once you pick it up, you leave it. Once you get the experience, you're going to know those red flags. She said, all that is so good and empowering. Yeah. She said, yes, my mother, very overt and never knew myself because of that. She said, finding myself now is scary, but empowering. Oh, yeah. She said, and I still love you dearly, and we must unite in love and in peace. Let me see. She said, the chosen one, the soldiers, warriors, you have to fight the battle to win. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. God knew what he was doing when he put us in this hour, in this day. And maybe now the narcissists have got away with so much, but now they're not. Because we're more empowered, because we're more knowledgeable, we understand. And so we're not easy pushovers. The narcissists don't always get people they can push over. Sometimes it just don't work. It don't work with us. We got too much information. Empaths are not the same empaths that was back in the 60s, 80s, because we have more knowledge. Now we got empath conference. We got empaths on YouTube that are training empaths. So when they feel different, when they feel awkward, they can go and find out, oh, that's what is going on. So the narcissist is having to deal with a lot of individuals who say, it's enough. I'm done with that. I'm not going to let you do this to me. And they're saying no, and they're meaning no. So we are getting stronger, and we're getting more powerful, and we're not the weakling that they thought that we were. And what they're finding is, you thought we needed you, and what we needed was Jesus. And once we get that, we go there. And that is what's happening. You get it and you're going there. And those of you who are still struggling, we are here. We're praying for you. We're believing God for you. We're giving you the information, and we're saying that you are powerful, and we're saying that you can make it. And we're saying that there's no situation that you can't handle. No matter how it's packaged, no matter how it's coming, you are greater than that. So I pray that you all have enjoyed this. I have enjoyed this session with you all. And Barbara, let's read these last comments. She said, thank you, Pastor Helen, for being so late or early, caring for us. Oh, God bless you, Barbara. It is my joy. It is always my joy. She said, and please say a prayer for us to break this demonic spirit off our lives. Okay, we can do that. She said, yes, it's our spirit. My narc told me I was special. Why he's not leaving me alone. It seemed that they know who we are. What he's saying is you giving him plenty of fuel. That's fuel. Yeah, cut that fuel off. You won't be so special anymore. Yeah, mine really think that there's no consequence to his action. That's not true. They're going to reap it. She said, no matter what he does, he said, so far he's got away with everything. Oh, that's what he think. She said, cast down stronghold. Yep, 2 Corinthians 10:4-5. She said, this was so good. Thank you for your sacrifice. You are so welcome, Marie. So I want to thank all of you for joining me. I love it. I love it when we come together. I love the wisdom that come out of us as a family. This is Just Be Real. She said, oh, good morning, everyone. Hello, Just Be Real. We're getting ready to get off. So please go back to the replay. Please go back to the replay. She said, please read Luke 2:19. Oh, yeah. That's Luke 10:19. Oh, I keep doing that. There you go. She said, yes, Narc knows exactly who we are. Vicky said, thank you all. She said, it means so much. Yes, I agree. In Jesus' name, the highest. She said, thank you so much, Apostle. You are making such an impact in so many souls. May God continue to bless you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It is my joy. We stand in pressure points, and we are made. We are soldiers for the Lord. And I want you to know that you can do this. ICDT. I can do this. I can do this, and you can, and you will. And we're going to keep making these videos, and we're going to keep coming together, and we're going to keep holding your arms up. Ann said something that was so beautiful. We are more than conquerors. We don't just conquer. We are more than conquerors. And God has always made a way for us. And the Bible say, nay, in all things, we are more than a conqueror. And God always calls us to triumph. So it doesn't matter how it looked like you lost. It's just a lack of strategy to confirm your win. All right, everybody. Yeah, ICDT, I can do this. And you will. I love you to life. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Yes, Karma. She said, hallelujah. Absolutely. I really appreciate you. Please subscribe. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hey, write me. We got a conference. If you want this conference, write me. Let's do this. ICDT. Come on. We can write me at destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. Oh, I appreciate you too, Princess. Thank you so much. God bless you. And guess what? I'll see you on the next video, and we will come together. And this is Ann said, thank you. This was such a blessing. And Anna, God bless you. Thank you so much for being here with us. And we love everybody, and we appreciate everybody's input. Everybody add to, and together we make a whole unit. So be listening up for the videos. I come on Thursday right after our Tuesday night, our Thursday night Bible study. I come on. So thank you for joining with me. I love you to life, and God bless everyone. Good night, everyone. I'll see you on the next video. Love you.